Here we have it, the man that this entire story has been all about. The man that has kidnapped a child to cut him in half, ripped his own self into different beings to then travel back in time to get his younger self to gather his future selves, to put his own heart into 13 vessels, to fight against 7 other vessels, to create the Keyblade, not to be mistaken with this Keyblade, to then summon Kingdom Hearts, and then to do something with Kingdom Hearts. A man with a simple plan. A man who just wants to be loved. A man with a voice from space. So come on everybody, let's take a look at the baldest character in the Kingdom Hearts universe. Xehanort. Xehanort is the main antagonist of the Kingdom Hearts series, and while being beautiful, he's also a very complex man. Yet, he has only appeared in Birth by Sleep, Dreamed Up Distance 0.2, and Recoded, yet being mentioned many times throughout the series. He was first mentioned though in Kingdom Hearts 2, but wasn't seen until Birth by Sleep, as he played a role as the advisor to 2 Keyblade wielders, Terra and Aqua, during the Market Mastery exam, to which he tampered with using the power of darkness, and helped to fail Terra. Xehanort would then tease and follow Terra around along the rest of the game to try to get him to join his side, and ignored the teachings of Terra's actual teacher, Ericus, and given to the power of darkness, to which Xehanort then tricks him into fighting and defeating Ericus, and Xehanort then killing him and destroying Terra, Aqua, and Ventus's home, the land of departure. We do then find out before this that Ventus, one of the 3 Keyblade wielders, was originally Xehanort's apprentice, and Xehanort tried to use Ventus to form the blade called the Keyblade that summons Kingdom Hearts, and he needed a pure being of light and pure being of darkness to do this, so he took Ventus and removed the darkness inside his heart, creating a pure being of darkness named Vanitas. Vanitas would then cause the unversed around the world. This would then weaken Ventus, to which Xehanort took Ventus to Ericus to then become strong enough to clash with Vanitas to form the Keyblade, which later we see at the end of the game of Vanitas and Xehanort clash with the Aqua, Ventus, and Terra, which it ends with the Ventus and Vanitas clashing and forming an incomplete version of the Keyblade that then breaks into 13 pieces of darkness and 7 pieces of light, and Ventus ends up in a coma-like state, to where Xehanort then transfers his heart into Terra, who had given into the power of darkness, giving Xehanort the ability to possess him, and becoming Xehanort, then clashes with the Lingering Will, becoming Terra's mind in his armor. And after being defeated, Xehanort falls unconscious and then appears back at the world called Radiant Garden, where he fights Aqua. But after being defeated again, he starts to fall into darkness, to which Aqua saves him, leaving her in the realm of darkness. He is then found by Ansem the Wise and his lab assistants, to which he has no memory. But luckily, having a man named Breg, who helped Xehanort turn Terra to the power of darkness, figures out that that is Xehanort and tries to help Xehanort to continue the plan that they set forth in forming Organization 13. We later find out that Xehanort has a nobody and a heartless, being the nobody is Xemnas and the heartless is Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, created when doing experiments on the hearts under Ansem the Wise. He unlocked all the hearts of those in the lab and his own heart, in order to later, as we find out, create Organization 13 to become vessels for Xehanort's true plan that we find out in Dreamed Up Distance, which is to cut his heart into 13 pieces and to place them into 13 vessels, to which they would then clash with 7 beings of light, or the 7 princesses of light, which is relating to the Keyblade that is split into 13 pieces of darkness and 7 pieces of light. Yet the first organization, which was partly made of those working at Ansem the Wise's lab, was a failure, being that they were all too unpredictable, and now Xehanort would use the power of time travel would gather versions of himself and other beings to be his new vessels, to which Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, following the rules of time travel and not having a vessel and only a heart, travel back to younger version of Xehanort to transfer the power of time travel to who we call young Xehanort, and now allowing young Xehanort to now skip some of the rules that time travel had. Then he gathers all the vessels that he needs except for one, in which they then try to make Sora a vessel, using the mastery exam that Sora and Riku are taking as a way of taking control of Sora and making him a vessel, to which all the vessels are gathered in the world that never was, and Riku, Mickey, Axel, Donald, and Goofy then save Sora from this happening, and those gathered then return to their own times after their plan fails, until the next fated time, as he says. We do find out that he was most likely the apprentice to Lushu, one of the masters from Kingdom Hearts Key, as Xehanort has the blade that was given to Lushu by the Master of Masters, and also Nomura said that he was the apprentice to him, or was handed down the Keyblade from him. He was also an apprentice alongside Ericus, who one day clashed, as Xehanort was trying to talk him into helping form the Keyblade, and Ericus refuses. They have a fight, which then created the scar on Ericus's face. As for the very beginning of Xehanort, he was a boy that lived on Destiny Islands and wanted to travel to new worlds, and he did that one day, and began to study the worlds in the heart, and found that worlds were filled with too much light, and thought there should be more of a balance between the light and darkness, which led him to wanting to form the Keyblade and create balance in the worlds. He also appears as Xehanort in 0.2, as he was attempting to take over Terra, who found a way to communicate with Aqua in the realm of darkness, which Xehanort was attempting to find out where Ventus was. As for now though, the only 13 vessels that we know are Braig or Xigbar, Isa or Syax, and some Secret of Darkness, Xemnas, Young Xehanort, Master Xehanort, and I honestly would guess Xehanort. It just seems like an obvious pick, but as of now it isn't confirmed. As for the VAs, Master Xehanort is voiced by Leonard Nimoy in English and Chikao in Japanese, who sadly both passed away. Young Xehanort is voiced by David Gallagher in Birth by Sleep and Benjamin Diskin in Dream Drop Distance in English, and Takanori Okuda in Japanese. Xehanort is voiced by Richard Epcar in English and Aikyo Otsuka in Japanese. And that is it, I believe, for his background. As for his personality, Xehanort is a curious, ambitious, cunning, and a smart man who will do anything to set up a plan for balance and knowledge in the formation of Kingdom Hearts. It is obvious what makes him smart in setting up the entire plan and the use of time travel to do it, but he is also cunning and deceitful, knowing how to control and manipulate others, in which he manipulates Terra into betraying Ericus. We also see how cold he is, in which he does not care for anyone around him and will do anything to complete his goal, and even if that means killing friends to complete it. The only point of slight positivity he has is when he was going to leave Ventus on Destiny Islands to die peacefully, even though he was the person that did do this to him after extracting Vanitas' darkness from his heart. But aside from that, we also see that he is careful with his plans and having backups just in case things go wrong, for which they do at times, and in his failure of forming the Keyblade. And with failing a few times, he doesn't seem overconfident and understands that no one is unbeatable. And for now, that is Xehanort's personality. Aside from him splitting his heart into other vessels, he has 3 whole forms, being Master Xehanort, an older form of himself where he's crouched over, darker toned skin, bald with yellow eyes, pointed ears, a white goatee, and wears an open black coat with red inside, long white gloves, a white jacket or shirt under the jacket, and black pants and boots. His younger version of himself, he has 2 outfits, but his base design, he has a younger face with a pointed chin, darker toned skin, spiked white hair, both straight and hanging down, with yellow eyes. He also has 2 outfits, one where he's wearing a black organization coat, and the other he's wearing a black coat with no sleeves, white undershirt, black wristbands, gray baggy pants, and black boots. Then we have Xehanort, who is basically Terra with white hair, yellow eyes, and pointed ears, and is wearing Terra's clothes. And at one time we see that he's wearing a lab coat, and that is it for his design. While his older self might not look intimidating, he is actually very powerful. Seen in Birth by Sleep, he is able to freeze beings in his hand when he freezes Ventus, and he can even raise up land and create pillars. He is able to teleport quickly. He also uses strong lightning magic, showing that he is extremely powerful with magic, and he has attacks that are very fast combos with being a Keyblade wielder and can shoot out multiple orbs of dark energy. He is also able to block shots from Braig without even looking at him, seeming to be somewhat telekinetic and can control and lift up Keyblades. He can also create beings from the removal of darkness from Ventus' heart, creating Vanitas. He also has the ability to transfer his heart into other beings, and it also shows that he has a stronger heart than Terra when he takes him over. As Xehanort, we see that he has become stronger and faster, being able to dash using darkness, create slams that create circular waves of darkness. He can also summon comets and shoot at Terra. He can dash into the ground and shoot up using darkness, and uses a dark hand that can be used to hit Terra. Finally, he uses the ability Terra has where he makes his Keyblade into a cannon and shoots it. As for young Xehanort, he has many different abilities along with traveling through time, and he has a different time-based Keyblade. It also uses a blue lightsabers where he manipulates time during battle by reversing the battle multiple times. He can also heal himself. He can do spinning energy attacks, he can shoot energy slashes, create a whip out of energy, teleport, dash, create after images that can also attack, and he can summon fire tornadoes, and he can use an advanced version of Blizzard. He appears also as a secret boss in Birth by Sleep, to which he has many new attacks and moves much faster. Summoning tornado attacks, black orbs that shoot lasers, continuous dashing attacks, cross slashes, he can shoot laser whips that can grab you, can freeze and reverse time, and make a fire tornado that he moves with to attack, turn invisible, duplicate himself, shoot fiery comics, lock you down, and insta-kill you, can guard, and he can use multiples of these attacks at the same time. Finally, overall, Xehanort has the ability to slice his heart into multiple pieces and place it in other vessels. And I believe that that is it for his abilities. And there you have it. That is all that we know about Xehanort at this point. I will most likely have missed some things because there are a lot of things to know about Xehanort, so let me know if there's something I missed. Nonetheless, to me, while I think the plan is really far out there, as an antagonist he's pretty intimidating, and overall a very good villain. But what do you all think of Xehanort, and what do you think will happen to him in Kingdom Hearts 3? And that is it. My name's Arcane, and I hope you all enjoyed. Peace out.